Hey, what's up, New Zealand and the world? Lucas Lawman's Kiwi Voice. Thanks for taking the time to tune back in. It is time to give you a bit of a summary of the last day and a half, or thereabouts, of the Convoy 2022 protest in Wellington, and what a day it was yesterday. You may well have caught, either through mainstream media, specifically on Stuff, or any alternate media, a lot of the coverage that has occurred. It's been a bit of a shocking day for some, an intense day in many ways, but I'm going to do my best to gather together independent citizen journalist footage and messages, words, as well as what they're covering in the mainstream media, and give you a bit of a summary. Big shout out to the person that we've got on the ground there, Lou Fee, who is sending us regular bits of footage of the crowd to give us a bit of a feel of the what's going on there right through to this morning. So let's get into it. So it was a massive day yesterday, as I alluded to. As somewhere around early to mid-morning, I'm trying to confirm that time, but I haven't quite got there, and I thought it was more important to get this up. A massive contingent of police that were there, that arrived the day before, on Wednesday afternoon, began to advance on the crowd. There were hundreds and hundreds of police that did this. They formed a human barrier, or a circle, half circle, around one side of the protest crowd, who stood strong, and scuffles ensued. So this was the beginning of an hours and hours long scuffle, where it appeared, and I do say it appeared based on citizen footage, Stuff live stream footage, that police would advance in a group of about sort of 5 to 10 officers on the front line. They would drag someone out and arrest them, and then move along and repeat. This went on and on and on. It was quite shocking to see, as 90 to 95% of protesters were just standing there. Yes, they got close to police, but they were standing there, not advancing. Police appeared to advance on them. So over and over we went. There was up to 120 arrests yesterday, taken out of the crowd. It was all based around the trespass order that Trevor Mallard put in place for Parliament grounds, because they closed the grounds, which meant everyone was to be trespassed. Police attempted to remove some tents, etc., but then the focus was on removing protester after protester, citizen after citizen, in these little groups, which was quite interesting to see. Now, multiple reports, including, surprisingly, on News Hub, of video footage of what appears to be excessive force by members of the police force. There were two pieces specifically, and these have circulated around the place. First is this particularly shocking photo. This was a teenage boy, somewhere between the ages of 16 and 19, that was pulled out of the crowd. As you can see, the officer on the right, it appears from this photo, as putting full force on top of the lad's head while they contain and arrest him. So this was again for the trespass, pulling them out of the crowd and going to that length. So that seems kind of shocking. The other one, grainy footage, sure, but shows the importance of having citizens on the ground, capturing this stuff. The instant grab for the throat and throw down, as you'll see there, of a person that was sitting still. They were talking, and then that seemingly unprovoked attack occurred. It's not great to see, but remember, I have to stress, this is just one particular side. There have been antisocial, spitting, abuse, that kind of thing that has come from some of the protesters in the crowd. We can't discount that, so you can imagine what the police were dealing with, although I still personally believe that the force used was excessive. There were reports of pepper spray, and tasers were deployed, although not used. From a lighter perspective, during the calm periods of the protest, songs seemed to break out, and often. This obviously eased tension significantly. Police began to back off, and then things did diffuse, tensions dropped down, and that was us for the end of the day. The camp still stood strong, although some tents and campsites were dismantled and removed. Moving on to this morning, this was the site there first early doors as the sun rose. Then since the day has gone on, we have had more tents and more people arriving, continuing to grow and swell. So people are standing defiant in the face of what they dealt with yesterday. The call has gone out around a number of the chat groups, and this is public knowledge, easy enough to get access to. Different parts of the North Island, people were descending on Wellington, even some from the south are flying up there. The word coming out from the protesters is, keep the peace, keep quiet, stay sitting, don't engage with police, etc. And they're just looking for help to feed people and house people are the main reports or requests that are going out. Moving on to the mainstream media side of things, so fair credit to Stuff. Again, they have been covering this all day long. They have had a live feed, although gradually, as time has gone on, it has shifted more and more towards the disparaging types of commentary around the protesters, to be expected. Wellington Police Chief Superintendent Corey Parnell has made a couple of comments to Stuff that's worth noting. He says, images and videos shown online do not provide the full context of the protest activity and the difficult situation that police staff face. That is both probably a fair call and kind of a counterintuitive call on both fronts from where I sit, because though that nasty police action did happen, but also you got to take into account that we may not see protesters pushing things too far as well. We've got to be clear on that. Another statement that Corey Parnell has noted is that police have identified a range of different causes for the protesters in terms of what they're protesting for, making meaningful lines of communication difficult. Just want to end the mandates. Not really too sure why that's too difficult, so that seems like an odd one to me. Finally, he has also noted that police were issued batons and have had them removed because that is not part of their policy to deal with protest activity. What did that mean? So they had the batons taken off them. Also said misinformation, particularly on social media, has been identified as an issue. So there we have it. It is now 3:10 in the afternoon on Friday. The campers are not going anywhere. In fact, they are increasing. So keep an eye on Kiwi Voice. We'll do our best to continue to get the citizen footage in, give you a summary and see how we get on. Hit that like button. If you're on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. Share the links around. Thanks for tuning in. Stay safe, stay free, and we will see you real soon.